Questioning the number of committee members, the students maintain the move is a plan by the government to extend time while it continues to implement the new funding model. They have to this end issued a 14-day strike notice upon which they will also submit a petition to court and parliament challenging the new funding model. Majibu Kisao has more.
He always complain about a hole in his pocket.
Students at the University of Nairobi have disputed the technical team appointed by President Ruto to review the new university funding model that has been the subject of criticism.
Can't give the folks the job to protect the interests of the sheep. We have been on these streets for a long time now, and all we are saying is we will stand with the citizens at large, with the public, with the first years, and with all the citizens who are saying we all have a right to quality education.
The fee cannot be so much hiked, such that in our case that so many students are blocked from getting into the university. We have students who have total orphans. They do not have a parent, they don't have a father, they don't have a mother. And yet they are placed in band 5.
Led by the university president Mazao Rocha, the students said they don't see the need of a committee to review loans with the help board still in place. They further don't see the need of a committee to review on the appeals when it is the duty of the Ministry of Education.
And we don't see a point of a committee to review loans when we have a help board to be doing this. We don't need a committee to review appeals when it is the ministry's job. We are seeing these committees as a delaying tactic, because if they're to run for 2 months, then we will be deep into the semester. So I'm sure after these 2 months, we really won't have any tangible solution, because Kenyans, we have seen the history of what committees have been producing.
They have to this end issued a 14-day strike notice upon agreeing and will submit a petition in court and parliament challenging the implementation of the new funding model. They have also asked students from other institutions to join them in fighting for their rights.
We are continuing to reject the new funding model, just the same way we have been rejecting it. We are not going to relent until the government hears our cries.
If around 50% of students didn't turn up into the university now, what is going to happen next year? It means more dreams are being killed each and every day.
NAC Kenya leader Martha Karua has also criticized the newly introduced funding model, saying it hinders Kenyan students' access to their right of education. President William Ruto has in the past defended the model, emphasizing its consideration for students of varying levels of vulnerability, despite being heavily opposed by the same students.
Comrades Power. Comrades Tibi. Comrades Atse.
Majibu Kisao for K24 TV, Nairobi.
Hearing of the case regarding the shooting of Yasin Moo, who was shot dead on the 30th of March 2020 at their home in Kiamaiko, started today with a total of 9 witnesses lined up before Justice Lilian Mutende at the Milimani Law Courts. In today's hearing, one of the witnesses took the stand and described the gory details of the incident on the fateful day. Busara Naman reports.
It has been 4 years since the murder of Yasin Moo, a 13-year-old who was shot dead while standing on the balcony of their house by a police officer enforcing the COVID-19 curfew. As they continue to seek justice, Yasin's family continues to mourn his death, calling on the investigative agencies to speed up the investigations and ensure the officer who ended his life is brought to book.
The second paragraph.
After years of anguish, the hearing of the case has officially begun before Justice Lilian Mutende at the Milimani Law Courts.
Sasa namulika baada hiyo sasa wengine wanaenda mmoja anakuja hivi namulika kitu green. Nikamulika sisi. Hapa tumesimama pale msimama balcony. Yes. Nisikia sauti ya risasi. Yasin alianguka chini. Yes. Mama amegongwa mimi, Yasin aliniambia. Mama yake.
Aki Hassan, a neighbor who witnessed the horrific incident, narrated what transpired on that fateful day.
Sasa sisi nimepiga nduru nalia, majirani akakuja, akachukua Yasin, akapeleka hospitali. Baadaye sasa nakaa kidogo tu napiga simu karibu saa 10. Nipigia mama Yasin. Yes. Mama Yasin amesema mama Yasin akafariki.
The case is scheduled to continue tomorrow, with 18 more witnesses expected to take to the stand and testify, as Yasin's family hopes that the law will follow its course. Busara Naman, K24 TV.
President William Ruto has chaired the first meeting of the newly constituted cabinet at State House, Nairobi, where issues of national importance and development were discussed. The rollout of the new universal health coverage next month, digitization of government services to foster transparency, and taming runaway corruption were among the key issues presented before the cabinet to assess their progress. Ruto told his cabinet to actively get involved in issues of national importance, even if they fall outside their portfolios. Timothy Simo with that report.
At State House, Nairobi, cabinet secretaries arrived one after the other. This would be the first meeting for the broad-based government that dropped opposition members from the ODM party into the cabinet. Some CSs have been here before, albeit in different capacities before the shake-up. For others like Julius Migos, Hassan Joho, John Mbadi, Opio Andai and Wycliffe Oparanya, today was their first day in President Ruto's cabinet meeting. Some are fortunate to be here after surviving the ouster that set aside their former colleagues.
Pray over our nation, for the people of Kenya.
At the meeting, the cabinet was informed that progress had been made on the issues that Dr. Ruto committed to the country when he appointed his new team. This includes the digitization of public procurement to make it transparent and digitization of the government payroll to eliminate ghost workers. The cabinet was also briefed on the rollout of the universal health coverage, a key government program aimed at ensuring that all Kenyans have access to fully paid health care. Already 1.2 million Kenyans have registered, while 9 million members of the National Health Insurance Fund will transition to the new Social Health Authority upon its launch on October 1st. On the Hustler Fund, the cabinet was informed that 250,000 beneficiaries have grown their personal loan limits and now are able to borrow 50,000 Kenyan shillings. The meeting was also informed that over 500,000 bags of subsidized fertilizer have been procured and distributed for the short rain season in central, eastern and western Kenya regions. Timothy Simo, K24 TV.
3 children have died in a fire that destroyed properties and rendered several people homeless in Mukuru, Kwanjenga. The children are a Form 2 16-year-old girl, Grade 2 8-year-old girl, and another 4-year-old boy. The cause of the fire that razed a school and a section of the church is yet to be established.
It was a sad day for Evelyn Connelly, a 46-year-old single mother, after losing 3 children in a fire whose cause is yet to be established. The mother had gone out to fend for her family when the unfortunate incident happened.
Akatoa mtoto wangu akaweka kando. Mama tena akamwambia ni watatu. Kitoko kijana wakatoa wakaweka kando. Kitoko kasichana ni yako. Mama tena akarudi kuniambia, heva ni watoto wako. Ai, mimi nilisikia pressure imepanda.
The witnesses, some of whom were victims of the fire, narrated their agony, saying gas cylinders explosions accelerated the fire.
Jaribu kuzimia pale juu, tukajaribu kumwagilia maji, ikakataa kabisa. Tukakata mawaya za stima zote kwanza, ndio sikue wasi, tukaanza kumwagia maji pale juu. Kwa kidogo gasi ikalipuka sasa, ikakuwa sawa hasa.
Vitu zingine kama hizi zikihappen, ikuange responsibility kuwa na watu wako ready kwa kitu kama hiki happen. Juu kupoteza watoto watatu wa mama moja si kitu rahisi. Ila hali hii ni kitu wangeshughulikia mapema, kitu tungeokoa. Juu kama watu wangefika mapema, hawa watoto hata wangekufa, tungeokoa.
Moses Bwire, caretaker at the raised houses, blamed the impassable feeder roads in the slums, noting that such tiny roads majorly hinder rescue operations in case of fire incidents.
Barabara kuingia ni ndogo. Feeder road ni ndogo zaidi. Inafaa tupanuliwe barabara. Afadhali mtu asongeze plot yake kidogo, rumu moja tupate barabara. Ndio mtu hata kiti kifanyika inakuwa active. Watu wanaokolewa.
The victims now want both the county and national governments to step in and help them resettle during this difficult time.
I'm just a single parent. Naomba serikali inisaidie tu vile inaweza kunisaidia. Juu mimi ndio papa yao watoto, mimi ndio mama. Mimi mwenyewe nalea watoto wangu. I'm just a jobless woman, mimi sina kazi. Watoto wangu, serikali inisaidie.
Anthony Kwemoi, K24 TV, Nairobi.
The family of Wajir County Assembly member Yusuf Hussein Ahmed, who was allegedly kidnapped last Friday in Nairobi, has filed a lawsuit against Acting Inspector General Gilbert Masengeli, seeking a court order to be released immediately. Meanwhile, a section of northeastern leaders led by Aldous Member of Parliament Aden Kainan are calling on the government to form a commission of inquiry to investigate and address the rising cases of extrajudicial killings in the region. Mariam Jahid reports.
Abductions, enforced disappearance, extrajudicial killings.
Mbele yake kulikuwa na vijana wawili pia walitekwa nyara na watu wasiojulikana. Hatujui mahali wamepelekwa.
The family of missing Wajir MCA Yusuf Hussein Ahmed has petitioned the High Court to compel the Inspector General of Police and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations DCI to produce him dead or alive.
We have reached out to all the security officers. And the person who's in charge of security in Kenya is the IG and the DCI. We believe that nothing can happen without the knowledge of the IG and the DCI. We are giving an ultimatum that Honorable Yusuf cannot be missing. We want his body, or either him alive or dead, in the next 2 days.
Taxi driver Wambua Kioko recounts his last moments with Yusuf along Enterprise Road in Nairobi before his disappearance.
Roundabout ya Industrial Area Prison, Enterprise Road pale, ndo niliona Prado ya white inajaribu kuniingia sababu nilikuwa to the left, Prado ya white ilikuwa to the right. Ule mmoja bado amenishikia gun to my side. Ndio sasa baadaye after huyu amechukua kila kitu yangu kwa gari, waliingia tena kwa gari wakatoka.
In a habeas corpus application filed by Yusuf's cousin, Abdikadir Abdullahi, states that 4 days after the ordeal, no one has accounted for Yusuf's whereabouts, despite there being 2 OB entries for the incident.
So that if the government fails to produce the honorable member, probably in the next 2 days, then the DCI, the IG, should be responsible and be brought before the corridors of justice.
Abdikadir asserts in court papers that Yusuf has a constitutional right to a fair trial, and the family is deeply anxious and distressed by his abduction, which bypasses the legal system.
For any reason, Honorable Yusuf is being held by the security agencies. We are appealing to them to ensure that he is produced in court immediately and bring any evidence they have against him.
Northeastern leaders have also voiced concerns about the alarming increase in enforced disappearance in the region, calling for a commission of inquiry to address the kidnappings and restore order.
We are calling upon the government to form a commission of inquiry to tell the public and Kenyans at large why this issue is happening.
Call upon the criminal investigative agencies and all other relevant security agencies to expedite their investigations with utmost diligence. The abduction of a public official is not merely a personal issue, but a direct challenge to the rule of law and the integrity of our democratic institution.
This comes even as President William Ruto continues to deny any allegations of extrajudicial killings since he assumed office. Mariam Jahid, K24, Nairobi.
Well, let's now have a look at some business news. The Association of Special Economic Zones has been launched with a strong mandate to the future of special economic zones in Kenya and attract both local and foreign investment. The launch marks a critical milestone for Kenya's industrial sector as it aims to boost economic growth, create jobs and position investors. According to ACZ's chair, David Langat, the association has placed a special focus on the manufacturing sector as the backbone of Kenya's industrial growth, championing the journey towards becoming a globally competitive investment hub.
The State Department vision is to make Kenya a premier investment destination for investment in Africa. Our focus therefore, is on creating world-class infrastructure coupled with investor-friendly policies to improve on the relationship with investors and increase the efficiency of investment in the special economic zones. Our role does not end with establishment of zones, but extends to ensuring that businesses thrive within them. We provide one-stop services for licensing, permits, and regulatory approvals, ensuring that investors experience minimal bureaucracy.
We've been operating on isolation. Every organization has been operating independently, and we feel that when you are united, you are able to develop clear policies, good policies that can be able to drive our industry in the right direction. So that's why we came up, we said, let's have an association whereby we cannot, the authority will not be listening to an individual. Authority will be reaching to the association and be able to drive policies for the whole association.
When it comes to representation, we've had challenges as players, either as an operator, an enterprise, or developer of a special economic zone, having one voice in terms of addressing very significant issues to do with either policy, regulation, or just the general challenges that are facing the day-to-day running of a special economic zone. So this bringing the players together in whatever form or shape that they are in really is a big step to the special economic zones space in Kenya.
In a bid to improve the quality of traditional medicine, practitioners are coming up with new technologies that have come in handy for Kenyans. Harriet Botanicals Director Harriet Chebet Ngok says they have kick-started community engagements to bring in more Kenyans to meet the demand or the high demand of distribution of traditional medicine across the country and the diaspora. According to her, they're targeting Kenyans in villages and urban centers, calling on patients with chronic diseases, indigestion problems, fibroids and other ailments to use traditional medicines from recognized quarters.
Quite a number of youths, young people and women in our business. Majority of our team actually are in their 20s, and this was a very intentional decision to give young people work, to give them authority, to give them meaning, and to give them responsibility without too much oversight so that they can grow and be creative in our industry and in our company. We have emphasized the whole idea of the youth bulge. We're very interested and very concerned about young people having opportunities, growing, learning in terms of intellectual property and training.
Harriet Chebet has been an inspiration to many, touching from her story and also being able to come up with this innovative brand that has really
MIMU National DT Sacco has hosted a media breakfast as part of its preparations for celebrating its 50th anniversary in October 2024. Despite challenging economic conditions, the Sacco's financial position remains strong with the focus on shareholder value creation and preservation. National Chairman Joel Gashari highlighted significant growth in turnover, net loans, deposits, and asset base as of December 2023. Gashari also emphasized the Sacco's commitment to innovation, including the launch of the MIMU Smart App and MIMU Hela App to enhance member services.
Juu tumepanda miti ya kienyeji for almost half an acre. Tuko na jukumu yetu sasa kuchunga hii kazi ama kufalilia kuchunga dawa ya director, kwa sababu tunapata muhimu ama tunapata.
Because we are changing many lives. When you look at our slogan, we are saying we want to celebrate our 50th anniversary of nurturing dreams. Everyone has a dream, everyone has a goal, everyone has a target. And we are saying when you come to MIMU, some of these dreams that may appear to be elusive are turned into reality.
This upgrade will introduce advanced features such as real-time transaction processing, enhanced security protocols, and a more user-friendly financial service platform. With this advancement, our members will benefit from quicker loan approvals, seamless transaction, and more transparent accounts management.
Well, that's it for business news. We take another short break right here on K24 Evening Edition. Coming right up next is some sports news.
Follow the champions on the home of football. Watch the latest